All right, ladies and gentlemen, friendly reminder that tonight for homework, you are annotating and doing all the happies for your slave trade. Make sure that is completely done. Tomorrow we are starting it. The more successful you do your happies, the better and a higher quality your life will be over the weekend. That is the homework. Today we are going to grade the DBQs. I cannot stress that a DBQ about a high school couple breaking up is not a real indicator of what a real academic DBQ is. So, it is not going to be a direct transition into an academic one, but it's a nice one that starts a lot of big conversations that we're going to hit over and over again in a real academic. You will never see a fun DBQ ever again, so I hope you enjoyed it. Did you? I mean, let's be honest, you didn't want to write a DBQ, but at least it was a fun topic, right? You're going to do it? All right, fine. Anyway. So, there are going to be some differences between this DBQ and the expectations that are going to happen from the slave trade. I think we have come to terms with that. Every single person on their desk needs to have their rubric that you picked up a couple days ago, their essay, and their prompts. They have exchanged it with someone else, and at the very bottom of the rubric, it says name of grader. That is where my new grading person is going to put their name. Okay, open up your crayons, friends. Well done, gentlemen. Okay, so taking out your yellow crayon, please. Take out your yellow crayon and on the rubric. By the way, fun fact, I will never make you write a DBQ rubric on a sheet of paper. Isn't that nice? Because there's just way too much information and it's just too much. Color in the thesis, yellow on your rubric, and then you're going to color in the thesis yellow in the essay. Go. Okay, now you're going to take green and you are going on your rubric to color in the contextualization, and then apparently I might be losing power here in a minute. That's why I was just reading very concernedly my text messages, because apparently I might lose power. So if I lose power, we're just going to continue on, yes? In the dark? Is that okay? Huh. What is that, Hayden?
It's already hot, so it's not like the air conditioner.
Why, yes, Hayden. Is there anything else I can do to accommodate you, Hayden?
I could use a sparkling water if you have one.
I think I'm good on that, though. There you go. All right, okay. By the end, Hayden, you can be comfortable, my darling.
Thank you so much.
Oh, my sincerest pleasure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know, contextualization for like a fake high school breakup prompt is very hard to do. So I got the point, my sheer luck. Thesis was fine, so give them a point for each of those. Okay, what you are going to do, please listen carefully because I've never had you do this before. You're going to take a red crayon, color pencil, whatever you got, and you are going to skim through the 3 body paragraphs, and you are just going to circle every time it says document 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever it is. So you are just skimming. You're not reading. You are skimming through the document for every time it says doc whatever, and you are going to circle it and continue through. You're not really reading. You're just looking for the word doc. Oh, Hayden, do you hear that wonderful breeze?
I do. It's great. It's like the heavens just opened up in this house.
Oh, I love the illusion you just created for us. Okay, once you have scanned through the document to look at all of them, what I want you to do is I want you to circle every document that they use. You'll notice it has 1 through 7. Why does it have 1 through 7? There's 7 documents. There will always be 7 documents because on your AP exam there are. So if you saw D1, circle D1. If you saw document 2, circle document 2. So just go through and now make sure they use every single document. Because you need to use, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. You need to use every single document. Parker.
What's the difference between using and arguing?
We're going to go through that in 2 seconds, my darling. We haven't gotten there yet. So we're just making sure all the documents have been used. That's all we're doing at this point. Did they use all the documents? Good. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk use versus argue. Use, and you may want to make an annotation, is historical perspective, audience, purpose, point of view. You only need to do that 3 times. Okay? So, argue means you use the document. I know use and argue, for this rubric, they interchange them. Argue means they mention it. Do they actually use the document instead of simply restating the document or summarizing the document? Are they using it? You do not get any points on the essay for summarizing the document. You have to argue with the document. So, when you go through, you are going to actually start reading the body paragraph right now, and I will do it with you because I have it done too. Which one are we? Grades decline? Academic dishonesty? Is that us? Yes? Okay. Okay, so let's do this. So, Philip's actions contributed to the decline of his relationship with Sadie because her grades declined and his actions created academic dishonesty. That's our opening sentence. Is that correct? Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure we're on the same thing. I just want to circle my Doc 1 and Doc 4. So mine looks like yours, yes? Okay. So Doc 1 shows that Sadie's priorities change from attending MIT to the person she wants, to a person who wants more social time. Okay? So right there, in that, I have talked about document 1. Did I summarize the document or did I use the document efficiently? I used it efficiently, specifically argue, so I'm going to circle the point. Now, Doc 1 shows that she's a person who wants more social time. The audience of Doc 1 are potential college admission officers. They will see in the enrollment process that time management and academic success had a role in her decrease of grades. So I used the document as well, and I only have to do this 3 times, and I used it for audience. IA is intended audience, just so you know. Okay, so in document 1, I used it for my happy and I used it to argue. Every single one of these argues should be done if it's done correctly. Now, if you summarize a document, do you get the arguing point? No. Only if you take the point of the document and implement it successfully do you get the argue point. You only had to implement your happy 3 times, once per every paragraph, correct? So there should only be 3 of these circled. Is everyone clear on that? Okay, so let's look. Document 4 shows that Philip put his academic needs before anyone else's and doesn't take consequences of his actions into consideration. Plagiarism in high school is highly punished, and universities will reject potential students due to academic fraud. Now, document 4. Did I talk about historical perspective, audience, purpose, or point of view? No. So, I don't get to circle the uses, but did I argue it pretty efficiently? Yes. Now, I talked about how high schools punish plagiarism very severely. Was that located anywhere in the document? No. So that is evidence beyond the document. So I can circle down here. Is everyone clear on that? Okay? So that is how you're supposed to score it. Just because I didn't use historical perspective, audience, purpose, or point of view doesn't hurt me because it's 3 points out of that. Yes.
So unlike the actual DBQ, do we only need to use evidence beyond the document once?
No, it's supposed to be done twice. So this rubric isn't as updated as it should. It should be done twice, but we just want to cover our butts, so we're going to do it 3 times. Every time we do a paragraph, because if we screw up one piece of evidence, if it's not as clear, we have a backup one. Does that make sense? And it's easier to remember. I need one piece of evidence and I need one analysis. Doesn't that make sense? It's just easier to remember than I need 3 and I need 2 and stuff like that. Do you see what we're doing here? Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, you are going to start on the next paragraph. Okay? Go ahead. Okay, so you should be done. You should be looking towards the next paragraph. Go. Hayden, you're all done? Did your person not write the essay?
Just send out.
Yeah, okay. How's it going over there, James? You're done that fast. You're not even giving them a good solid effort of reading, or are you just skimming it and
I read
just
the entire thing
thoroughly?
Yeah.
Thoroughly. And what is their argument? Do they like Philip or do they hate Philip?
It's unbiased, but it's more.
Why is it unbiased?
Well, it's not like it's more towards Philip, but it's not like super leaning.
Okay, and who says this? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean,
It's like against Philip.
it's against the professional prompt.
Do you think he's really at fault?
Yes. Philip shouldn't have been talking to me.
Damn, okay. You've got about 1 minute to finish filling out the rubric. What do you got, Parker?
Is the complex,
Complexity,
is that the throw out one?
yeah, 2% of people get it. Like,
Don't you like have to argue 6 documents? It's like if you're on the exam and there's 7 and you don't know how to use one,
Not anymore. You used to be able to do that. So you have, yes, you can only argue 6. We're all going to argue every single one.
Like,
So
what, like on the actual thing, like you go behind the 7, do you have to use the 7?
they're all going to be somewhat reasonable. So you're arguing every single thing. Yes, you're arguing every single one because you may stumble into something and you're definitely going to get some things wrong. No one gets perfect scores. 3, 2, 1. Please listen. Flip over the rubric. You're going to write 2 positive things and 1 piece of constructive criticism. Constructive criticism is something they can fix immediately. Their handwriting is hard to read. Their points were chaotic. Like, make sure you're a little bit clearer of what you're trying to say would be something that is constructive criticism. Saying that they're an idiot is not constructive. That's just who they are. And they can't fix it. Okay, I am going to pass around staplers. Ladies and gentlemen, as soon as you get stapler, you need to stop what you are doing and staple immediately. It goes rubric, essay, prompt. Rubric, essay, prompt. So as soon as it hits your desk, Michael, begin stapling. As soon as it hits your desk, you better be stapling. Go.
You the planning in it?
I mean, sure, staple it underneath the prompt. It goes rubric, essay, prompt. As soon as you get that stapler, you better stop what you're doing and score and staple. Everyone's getting full credit. It's the first time you've ever written it. So this whole thing is about you starting to see how it's supposed to look and like the evidence you're supposed to find. I will never hold you back from like, most of your DVQs are going to be worth like 30 points instead of 7 points because all this effort is not worth 7 points. Can we agree? So I'm going to give you like 30-point essays as we're going, and the rubric will be more detailed. Like you get this point, you get this. Yeah, I do because it's stupid and I don't understand. If only 2% of the population gets it, why is it a thing? Exactly. In other exams, it could be a bonus point, so you can get it if it's really well done.
There are no leak over 2%.
Just ignore it because everyone's getting full credit for doing it.
84, and I just wanted
So the stapler
I didn't expect
should
it.
just.
I thought it was maybe like a
It's
scale.
not. There's.
I gotta know what the curve is.
Fryer, if you hand it to me, I'll fix it. If you could send a stapler over to Hayden's row, I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, on my say, you are going to get up and go talk to the person you scored. Go, Mark. Once we really get into it, it'll make sense. Let us get into a real one, because you only get 1 point if you use 3, you get 1 point if you use 6, and you argue successfully and stuff like that. Does that make sense?
There's no like partial credit there. She'll have to get all 3 uses correct. And then
That's why we go above and beyond. Does that make sense? So that's why we do extra and try to compensate where we can. Keep in mind, you do not need to get a perfect score or a 6 in order to pass the exam. The average pass score is like a 2.5.
if you get extra time, you can just like write one of these, just historical context for every single one and just
Yeah.
go back.
But you're not gonna have that kind of time. But yes, it's huge. Keep in mind that we work really, really hard, and a lot of people don't know the content. It was because you got the extra credit into it. That's how. You're welcome. Your girl had your back. Yes, Samantha Bennett always has your back. Yes. Parker. 94. 94. Do you think I do this for fun? Like, do you think I keep this rigor for my own job? I have no idea what on campus. It was the full thing. Yeah, and then we had obviously COVID. Yeah. So, what do you got, Gattaky? You can go straight down, but it's not as easy. Some of them are obviously, but it's not usually. 3, 2, 1. Gattaky just asked a really great question. On the source, can you just do all audience, for instance? They are specifically going to pick a document that is really easy to identify for audience, and the other ones are going to be harder. So they're going to they're going to play the hands. They spend all year picking the documents and curating this essay. So they aren't going to make it easy on you because they don't like you, Gattaky. It's not you personally, it's you as an entity. So, all right, please pass your essays to Taylor. Thank you, Taylor. Okay, take out your essays. Actually, pass Hayden your staplers, please. Thank you, Hayden. Take out your slave trade DBQ, please.
What other classes have you teach for AP World?
Huh?
Like what other classes? Like
Thank you very
subjects,
much.
I guess.
I teach AP Psych. I've taught World History Honors. I've taught World Regular. I've taught
What's your favorite?
definitely not AP World. I like honors, but I make a lot of money off of AP. Yes. Every kid passes, I get $50. I'm sorry, do you think that's worthwhile for me? Do you know how much effort I put into this and how much strain and how much thought I put into this? If you think your $50 is like worth it, it's not. But
We should get $50 since we
It's
get
been,
married.
it makes me feel better now all my pain all year is going to $50.
I mean, I usually make about $8,000 off of it. But after taxes, it really comes down to like 6. So it's nice that 6,000. That's not how taxes work. We would have burned down this country if that's how taxes work. But yeah, no, you did. I mean, I'm not hiding the fact. I make $50 a person who pass. So, but it's not worth it for how much effort I put in for $50. But I will tell you, it is nice to get a lump sum of like $6,000.
Do a lot of people fail?
No, I have a 94% pass rate.
Everyone fails. Do you know who's gonna fail before you?
Yes. Hey, Scott. Anyway. Oh, I do. I'm very rarely surprised. Very rarely surprised. Anyway, here we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, tonight for homework, your job is to annotate the slave trade DBQ. All of them need to be full happies, and you really need to spend time and be thoughtful going through. The better you do it, the faster we can do our groupings tomorrow, and the more I can write in class for you. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that the goal? Because the harder you work tonight, the easier your life will be over the weekend when you have to write it. And we are going to fully grade these completely. If you think the grading we did today for our stupid high school drama DBQ is what we're going to be doing for an actual academic one that I've taught you the historical context of which I'm holding you accountable for, you're delusional. So take the time, do it well, because if you summarize the documents, you get a 0. You have officially 6 minutes. I'm not confident in that answer.
Are you gonna help?
No.
Why?
Because.
We don't have time.
Read the document. Begin. I will tell you, make sure you're reading the first one carefully because second period was getting a lot of that wrong.
I know the audience.
I'm so proud.
And third.
Did you just say you don't need this class, Hayden?
I said I've got the audience. I mean,
You don't
said
need
it, not me.
Facts. Just like I said, if you're gonna drop, this is the week to do it. That's what I'm saying, girl. We looked at pictures for 20 minutes today. Are you nice and cool now, though?
I am.
Ugh. Whatever I can do to help.